Hi, everyone. Welcome to the second edition of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vase. It's like so dead silent here at the Frankfurt airport that like I'm afraid to like talk even this loud. Like I can hear a pin drop. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it. And then there's people around me too, but like no one is speaking. But I'm sitting in the worst possible spot, but it's the only place where I can get, uh, power to my computer because it was dead from the stream this morning. Basically, I ended up missing my flight to Iceland. Not totally my fault, partially my fault, in that the flight was changed to be 3 hours earlier, probably weeks ago, but I never paid attention to the notifications. I also, you know, did the boarding pass like yesterday, and I had the boarding pass in my phone, and I didn't look at the flight time because I thought I knew when it was. And then right, I'm about to go to the airport, and it's like 2 p.m. and I'm looking at the boarding pass to see which terminal I need to go to, and it's like, oh shit, it departed at 2 p.m. So I had to. It was not fun the last 4 hours, let's just say. So I had to find another way to get to Iceland, and I will be there at some point in the middle of the night. So perfect time for the kidnappers, I guess. But it's Iceland. Yeah, that was gonna happen. But yeah, at some point I'll make it to Iceland. But yeah, so that kind of sucks. And I only had like a day and a half there, so let's make that a day now. But yeah, see, these are the kinds of things that if you travel enough, you're gonna run into these problems. So I'm at the Frankfurt airport. I got like a few hours before my next flight, and so now I don't have direct flights. Now I gotta like connect and pay an unreasonable amount of money to still get there within 24 hours. But anyway, enough about that. Let's. I'll take a look at traditional markets, and then I want to take a look at your live chat. See if there's any good questions. I I sent the link over to my crew. Vincent joined me this morning. He's fully asleep by now, probably. But but yeah, maybe Tyler is bored, or maybe Willie Woo's free, though I doubt it. He's pretty busy these days. So let's go back to the charts, and then I'll get back to the live chat and see what's going on. See if anything's changed. So we hit the 38% Fibonacci line finally. We actually hit it this time, right? So the 38% Fibonacci line was at 9,442 on stamp. If we look at the high price today, it was 9,424. That went a little higher. Huh. But we clearly made a new high in a couple hours ago, and we pretty much hit the Fibonacci line on the dot. The big question is, will this Fibonacci line reject us back down, and this is the interim high, or are we going to go higher and challenge $10,000? At the moment, looking at the daily sequential, and remember, I did have this green arrow, right? Like this green arrow was representing the fact that if we had gone above this green line, the odds were with us that we're going to go all the way and challenge $10,000. And that's pretty much what happened. Yeah, I'm sitting in the worst possible light. I gotta sit like this to actually see my own chart. Hopefully the sun will go down soon. Oh, I can do this. Okay, a little better for me. So, okay, so where are we here? So the daily sequential is calling for a few more days of upside. So let's see what's better, the sequential or the 38% Fibonacci line, because on a weekly scale, we had a green 2 go above a green 1, immediately following a 9. So we are working on our third 9 in a row consecutively. That is rare, but it's happened before in Bitcoin on weekly charts. We've broken the reversal of the candle. We've completely retraced the reversal of the 9. The 1 to 4 candle correction of the 9 is over. The only thing left is a weekly close at a new yearly high is bullish. The only other piece of resistance we have is the 38% Fibonacci. And the fact that we have approached the 38% Fibonacci 2 weeks in a row makes it pretty likely that it's going to break to the upside. But keep in mind that this has been an unprecedented run in Bitcoin, and things don't go up forever, even in Bitcoin land. So be cautious, but the weekly is bullish. The daily is still bullish. The 12-hour is bullish, working on a second consecutive 9. The 4-hour went bullish last candle and is still bullish. And the 1-hour is pretty much neutral because the next candle is going to give you a price flip, and that's going to start in 43 minutes. Okay. The stock markets are open. I'm actually curious what gold's doing. And then I'll go and take a look at your live chat. Here's the weekly gold. Let's do this. Let's do this. Gold has slowed down its monster ascend. And I'm trying to catch up on hyperwave videos. I did see the videos from last week, the one from the 7th and one of the 2 from the 10th. And I liked what Socrates said about gold. It is making this ascending triangle-ish view where you have continuous rejections in the 1350 to 1380 zone, but your support, you continue to make higher lows. So when you continue to make higher lows, but flat tops, it creates this ascending triangle. Not a perfect one, but a good enough one right now. So the odds are approaching a monster breakout. So if gold can break out about 1380, it can really challenge the all-time highs over the next few years. So it'll be good. I'll be able to sell my gold coins that I've been holding for a while. Now, as far as silver is concerned, I can't believe I'm still holding on to my silver coins. Silver is so useless as a financial asset. At this point, you just have to pray that there is enough stupid people listening to guys like Big Swear, Bo Pony, other silver bugs, that silver can pump. Like, let's say gold goes to 5,000, which I believe that it could. You know, I believe that gold can, though unlikely, but I believe that gold can go to 5,000 over the next 5 years. More likely, however, still today, I mean, I can change my mind tomorrow. When people say Tone said this, Tone said that, my views on any asset are only as good as the last time I mentioned that asset. So nothing I said about gold prior to today matters. It only matters what I'm saying today about gold. So as of today, gold is still slightly, ever so slightly, more likely to go sub 1,000 than new all-time highs. Now, this can change tomorrow. If tomorrow gold closes above 1380, gold would be more likely to go above 2,000 than sub 1,000, okay? So let's just talk about today. As of today, gold is more likely to go sub 1,000 than 2,000, okay, as of today. Now, I believe that silver will never go to $50 again, unless it's like a hyperinflation event. However, um, I would love for people to pump silver, because I'm holding a bag of silver that I need to dump onto the next stupid, right? Something I didn't do with the shit coins. And I should have recognized how useless silver was, longer ago. But, it took Seyfedin's book to kind of push me over the edge on this one. So thanks, Seyfedin, for that, by the way. So I would love to unload my silver bag. So where am I going to unload it? I don't know. But I'm still hoping that there's enough stupid people out there listening to Big Sweeter that think silver is going to be at $5,000. And if gold does end up rallying and gold does go to $5,000, can silver make it to 50? Maybe, right? I used to have this long-term gold-silver ratio. Let's begin. I'm not looking at your live chat right now, by the way, guys. So save your questions. Oh, Daniel, thanks for your question. When will you, Tyler, and Socrates stream? I don't know. This European time zone that I'm in is really tricky. Oh, I see your questions. Tone, what percent that we will see a low below 3,200? That percent is probably 50-50 for me right now. I know it's not helpful, but it is what it is. Blue Core, thank you. Don't worry, Tone, maybe it's a sign that plane was no good anyway. Hopefully the rest of your trip will go smoothly. Thank you, Blue Core. All right. Okay, let me look at my silver to gold ratio. I have two of them. I don't know which one's longer. I think this one is the one with animations and stuff. God, I'm telling you, you can hear a pin drop at this. Wow, it's at a new all-time high. Yeah, so this is clearly a terrible, like this is where you short gold and buy silver. That was before I realized how useless to society silver is. So I'm not surprised that silver is approaching 90. I believe it's a new all-time high in the gold to silver ratio. I have a chart that can go further back. I think this chart goes further back. I think it goes all the way to like the 70s. And yeah, so at one point, the all-time high in a gold to silver ratio was 98. I believe silver will, I believe this ratio will go above 100%, 100x. So let's say gold goes to an all-time high of 5,000. That means silver will need to make it to $50 in order to be at 100 to 1 to gold. And hopefully, if gold does go to 5,000, silver can go to 50, and then I can, get it's not a great return on my silver. I think the average price of my silver is probably in the $25 range per ounce. That's the average price of the silver that I was buying. Physical coins, of course. And so 100% in 10 years, not a great return, but the S&P 500-ish return, right? So again, terrible investment. Like, you learn your lessons, I guess, from bad investments like silver. So where was I? Gold-silver ratio. So let's look at the more recent one, right? This is the more recent one. This is since 1998. So clearly, like there's absolutely no reason. I should probably remove this, right? Like I don't even know where to put this line, like maybe 200 to 1. Like, I guess if silver is 200 to 1 to gold, it's probably a good buy of silver versus gold. Like, it looks like a fancy chart until you like realize how useless silver is. Go read Saifedean's book, and if you don't understand how useless silver is after reading Saifedean's book, you just don't get it. Anyway, I shouldn't keep talking about it. The point is, this ratio is going to get worse. Now, let's get back to like gold. So I'm going to close this chart. I'm going to close this one too. Let's save it, I guess. Okay, so let's get back to gold. But by the way, when I say that gold is more likely to go sub 1,000 versus 2,000 as its next mile, like critical point, it's not by a lot. It's like maybe 51 versus 49 or 52 versus 48. Like, it's definitely not enough to place any bets on. So I am staying away from any like gold trades that I would probably wouldn't even do anyway. But if I was a full-time trader, I would not be trading gold right now. I'd wait and see what it will do next. This is silver. I don't really care. Probably close the chart. God, these things are so annoying. Oil is setting up for another leg down, guys. It's consolidating at the lows, and would love to see a price flip to a green one, consolidate a little more, then a red one, and then a red two going below a red one, going below 51, and then oil should definitely take a hit. Hope you're watching, Leah. You had a good run with your oil fundamentals, but it's over. Technicals are taking over. What is this? US dollar. US dollar is rising again. I love those gloom and doom emails that zoom in on a 30-second chart of the dollar showing you how it's collapsing and everybody's going to die. But in reality, the dollar is going to rise, the euro is going to fall, and gold will probably be a casualty because it's priced in dollars. Speaking of the euro, here it comes. I'm really trying to get rid of as many of my euros as I can as I finish out my euro trip. But I heard Iceland is so expensive that I'm about to run out of all my euros anyway. Because once the euro breaks the setup trend line, the weekly setup trend line at 111, oh boy, is the euro in trouble. We're going to be talking about which country is going to get kicked out. Well, actually, Europe doesn't actually want to kick anybody out. They're like begging them to stay in, but which country is going to want to leave? Though a cheap euro is good for almost every country. S&P minis, I need the daily chart. Looks beautiful. If tomorrow it's the green 2, above a green 1, above the 9, oh boy, look out above. I mean, I was very skeptical that the S&P would be able to break the new all-time high this year. I was looking for it next year. But, oh man, this was a beautiful 9. We now have the notification service. Everyone's been notified that the S&P dailies on a futures on the 9, a cash market as well, I'm sure. And once this breaks, what time is it? I don't want to miss my flight. So when is my flight? Yeah, I'm good. I have about 20, 30 more minutes. So if tomorrow is a bullish day, I mean, you have the countdown, you have a new setup. I mean, it looks gorgeous. This should be the weekly on the cash market. The weekly on the cash market is looking pretty good. I don't know if I want to look at stocks, but I mean, maybe I'll glance at a few. Should probably open the thing. I'm not looking. I have one monitor, guys. I'm not looking at your live chat. I'll take a look at it in a second. I know I meant to do the Q&A session, so I'll quickly run through a couple of stocks. Amazon looks bullish, but might top in a couple of days. You'll get the notification on the 9 if you're in the notification service. Check my Twitter for the link. Ooh, Google is not doing as well. Google is stuck under the moving averages. Same thing, gonna come up on a 9, but in a very bearish posture. Apple's in the middle of nowhere. Not hit a 9. I don't like reversal candle 9, bullish candle. I don't know. I don't like this. This is weird. I would stay away from Apple. I'd stay away from Netflix as a trade. Ooh, look at Tesla. Beautiful buying opportunity off the 9 that converted. You had a 9, you have a green 1. Tesla's looking good again. I mean, it was getting destroyed. It definitely could have been bought. This is why I have the notification. It was a double 9 to the downside. I would have been all over this Tesla trade. I will, if I stop traveling and running a hedge fund, I would have been all over this Tesla trade. That was easy. Wow, look at Facebook. Look at Facebook. If you're not in the Facebook trade, it's probably a little too late. I wouldn't chase it at this level. I'd wait for the 9 and reevaluate. Oh, Starbucks. I'm going to go with Starbucks. This looks good for a breakout. Green 2 above a green 1, above the all-time high in Microsoft. It looks bullish to me. AMD looks like a disaster, but I'd stay away from it. If you're not in the short trade already, I wouldn't chase it. Nvidia finally bottomed. It was a bad bottom. I would have gotten caught on a bad short trade if I did trade Nvidia, but I wouldn't have been short Nvidia after a, a 40% drop. Like, it's a little too late to short. I'd be afraid of a buyout. I don't know, maybe Microsoft can buy them out. I don't know, maybe Google will, who knows, right? So the time to short Nvidia was like pre-def cross. It's too late to short. Did not get a good buying opportunity off the 9, so I would have missed this run up in Nvidia. But if you are the elusive 13 is going to be difficult. It's got to fall all the way below like 135, which is unlikely. But if you get a price flip, if you get a green 1, then a green 2 above a green 1, challenging the 150 area, yeah, that could be a buying opportunity. It's been beaten up enough. Ford, nice cheap stock right now. Beautiful reversal of the hammer candle followed by a 9. A little too late to go long here. I like the golden cross, but the sequential is not ideal. The time to go into Ford would have been 3 days ago on a green 3 going above a green 2, being supported by the moving average. I mean, it's not that much of a price difference. We're talking about 994 versus 1007. Probably still a buying opportunity. I mean, Ford can come back to the $12 range. It's doable. I mean, it's a cheap stock, even if you buy 1,000 shares, it's only 10 grand. Not the end of the world if you have a reasonable portfolio and good risk management. I'd stay away from Tilray. No comment. GE. It's on a pullback. Oh my God, please tell me we notified in the notification service. I'm not going to pull up my Telegram again, but it's a good way to be an idiot by pulling up your own Telegram. What a beautiful 9 reversal candle. Holy shit. Please tell me we notified in the notification service. If we didn't, that's, I mean, GE is not exactly a top 10 stock these days, but yeah, we should. We should. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Damn. I mean, you can't short it, so it doesn't matter. It's too cheap to short. Like, you can't short $10 stocks. GE needs to reverse split, so it's $100 stock, and then you can short it. Starbucks was going to be a sell at the 9, but that was a while ago. Let me see what happened here. That is a monster reversal candle off the 9. I would have been very cautious. I would have taken my profit off the 9. It did go higher the following candle, but it looks like the short-term top is in. If I did not get out on this 9, I would have kept tightening up my stop loss. This is a bearish engulfing, following a 9, not a perfect reversal, but a good enough reversal. If I was long on a swing trade off this 9 in Starbucks, I would be completely out right now. All right, I just want to look at Lyft and Uber, and then I'll go to your Q&A. Ah, God damn it. Lyft is not giving me a good buying opportunity. Now, Lyft was, if you're a short-term Lyft trader, you had a buying opportunity this morning, actually. I believe this is today. I believe we're still trading. Those that were in front of the market this morning and watched the green 3 go above a green 2 at a monster consolidation at the bottom. Clearly, this inverse head and shoulder-ish pattern, you're getting your 50 period moving average for the first time, and it's coming in as a golden cross. This is, you know, breaking the prior swing high. You've already broken the prior swing high. It's in a nice bullish channel that I'm not going to draw. You know, it's a buying opportunity on a swing trade. I wasn't in front of the market, so I was on an airplane trying to get from one end of Germany to another so I can get to Iceland because I missed my flight due to a flight change. Yeah, there was those that paid attention and those that know sequential had a buying opportunity there. Uber continues to be very well priced. Let's look at fake Zoom. Fake Zoom is consolidating. Maybe eventually people will stop being stupid. Let's look at the real Zoom. Not interesting. Okay. Ooh, race Ferrari. That was coming up on a beautiful 9, I believe. Why was Ferrari interesting? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember anymore. Maybe it was the weekly. Weekly is coming up on a 913 on Ferrari. That's going to be interesting. Watch Ferrari 2 weeks from now. That's going to be good. On a daily scale, I forgot why Ferrari was interesting to me. Sorry, guys. Maybe it was this 9, right? You know, off of earnings. Yeah, the weekly still has some run up. So tomorrow, a green 1. The following day, green 2 above a green 1, above a swing high. A little overextended above the moving averages, but not the end of the world. Okay, let's look at your Q&A. I have to scroll all the way up, though. Before I look at your Q&A, good time to shill the affiliate codes. Hey, guys, if you like my work, I'm really trying to speak quiet. I'm at the Frankfurt airport, and you can hear a pin drop. If you like my work and you would like to support my work, please check out the affiliate section of tonebase.com. You can subscribe to any of these lovely websites, but check your jurisdictions. Not everybody can trade at Deribit, so if you are a US citizen, and I believe a Canadian citizen, or even a resident, you should not be trading there. It is only for people whose jurisdiction is allowed to trade there. So check out their terms of service and go ahead. Also, if you're going to sign up for TradingView or TourGuard or want to buy Bitcoin or sell Bitcoin at Paxful. Here you get a good rate on Amazon gift cards, which if I was home, I would be probably buying. All right, workshops. There's only one upcoming workshop, and that's in Dallas, Texas, around the time of BitBlock Boom. My next webinar is all about entries, exits, stop losses. I got to get home and actually put together material to teach that. And the webinar after that is going to be, oh, we can probably add another webinar. It's going to be on money management. I'll tell my team to put that up. All right, guys, that's it. Check out the calendar. We're going to add a bunch. I'm in talks with a bunch of conferences. I guess I'm going to keep traveling, and I'll get back there. All right, time for your Q&A. I'm going to stop screen share, but I have to remember to start screen share again. Let me see what you got. I'm going to scroll back up here. Tone, as it came up on crypto Twitter, and you are close to some individuals who were involved in the conversation. Come on, get to the point. Do you believe in human-caused climate change? I do not. Bitcoin doesn't affect it, in my opinion. It doesn't. I don't believe in man-made climate change. I think it's totally ridiculous. I believe that man caused pollution. Can pollution cause serious damage? Yes, pollution can cause serious damage. Can human stupidity cause changes in the food chain? Of course we can, right? Like if we kill off an entire species in the ocean, yes, we can affect the food chain, right? And that could cause some damage to the environment. I believe that humans can hurt the environment very, very badly. Now, does killing the environment create climate change? I don't believe that it does. Climate is, I mean, again, this is not the right discussion for this. We'll probably do one day when I no longer have to explain to people what a fake Bitcoin is. I can focus a little bit more on these concepts. But the reality of the situation is, between things like the sun, the clouds, the Earth's position in our own solar system, as it rotates, the Earth, the solar system's position within the Milky Way galaxy. These are the things that affect our climate, not pollution. Pollution can kill people. Pollution is damaging. I believe that companies need to be responsible in not causing pollution. But pollution is not climate change. And this is where a lot of people get basically scammed by the politicians and by the environmentalists into doing things against their economic and social interests because of their, I guess, agendas, whether they are inappropriate because they're not smart, or whether it's all tax related because the government's all about taxes, right? So the more they can tax you by blaming you for creating climate change, I mean, call it what it is. It's pollution. It's dangerous. It can kill people. It can kill species. It can affect our food chain. It can, lower our life expectancy, even though technology has been raising our life expectancy. I believe that humans do a lot of bad things to the environment. I believe that humans damage the environment a lot, and I agree that that's bad, but don't call it climate change. That's a human causing climate change is like an ant causing climate change. Like that's all we are. If you zoom out outside our own galaxy, outside the Milky Way galaxy, we're just ants. And the Earth's, our solar system's position within the galaxy is probably the biggest effect on our climate, and we have zero influence on that. So that's the short run of it. Tyler and I can talk about it more. Then Zen and I can talk about it more. Saifedean and I can talk about it more. These are the people that are also knowledgeable. And go read Martin Armstrong as well. Like there's lots. Go read the work of some geologists that aren't, corrupted by the fiat money system for their funding. There's lots of good information here. Okay, understand the difference between pollution and climate change. They're very different. That's my summary here. Totally, I mean, it's a good question, and I'm going to get a lot of shit for this, but we will. I want to explore the topic more with some actual scientific evidence that's unbiased by government fiat printing. All right, let's see what else we got. Yeah, well, when I get into a more stable environment and I'm not traveling, country to country every 3 days, I'll try to get on a stream with Tyler and Socrates. I see a comment from John. I actually want to comment on that comment. John says, and I don't want to be a dick, but like John Hill, I see you in the chat. You said the following. I literally said gold was in an ascending triangle months ago on this channel. Good to see Tone finally agrees. You're probably a fan of mine, but here's the thing, right? John, you don't even have a picture for your YouTube profile. So that means you don't have a YouTube channel. So that means you don't have an audience. Get an audience. Because unless you have an audience, what you say, unfortunately, doesn't matter. And I'm being a bit of a dick here, but when I started out in this space, I never looked at another analyst's stuff and gave him my opinion, because my opinion was irrelevant to his opinion because I didn't have an audience. I built my own audience. And I think there's only been like maybe 1 or 2 instances where I've commented on other prominent analysts' views. And it's more because of they know who I am, I know who they are. So it's more like a friendly kind of thing. I remember once I tweeted at Peter Brand's tweet, and I said I take the opposite side of that trade. It was all kind of like in fun. But like, you don't want to, don't do that, okay? Like, people love to comment on my Twitter feed with their views on the charts. Guys, my opinion of what you see should also be relevant to you. Build your own audience. That's what you want to do. That's what I did. It's what Ben Zen did. It's what Tyler did. It's what all of us did. It's what Tour de Meester did. It's what Willie Wu did. Okay? That's how you build an organic audience yourself. Now, your other comment, which caught my eye, you said that gold was in an ascending triangle months ago, is actually irrelevant. Identifying an ascending triangle months ago doesn't matter. You want to identify an ascending triangle as close to the breakout of that ascending triangle as possible. So I think the ascending triangle is kind of close to breaking, but chances are identifying the ascending triangle a few months from now is when it's relevant. It's really irrelevant to identify a head and shoulders before a right shoulder forms. It's only relevant to identify a head and shoulders 3 seconds before the break of the neckline. That's when it matters. Identifying a chart pattern too early is actually irrelevant. It's not only irrelevant, it's potentially dangerous. Identifying a chart pattern too early gets you into the trade potentially too early because you start building confidence in that chart pattern. I mean, I thought I was watching the Bitcoin descending triangle at 6,000 for months. And then I finally got into the short trade. And then Tether imploded. And that trade still took a month to develop. In fact, I got into that descending triangle trade on Bitcoin so early that I ended up getting my account shut down before able to make a profit. I wish I recognized that descending triangle 3 weeks later, because then at least I would have profited from that trade, right? So identifying a chart pattern too early is no good to you or me or your position. It really doesn't matter. So I guess I was a dick twice to you, John. I'm sorry. I know you're a fan of mine. But hey, you come here for hard truth and you got it. Yeah, sorry, Ergi. Yeah, it looks like a lot of people are stuck in their shitty silver bags, including myself. All right, let's see. Let's look at another question. Hey, Tone. I will be seeing you in Dallas. What are your thoughts on the Nash exchange? I've never heard of it, so I have no thoughts. I have no idea. Oh, with them giving dividends on their coin, Nash exchange is a scam. I mean, it's that simple, right? I mean that it's my analysis of the Nash exchange, which I have heard of from you 15 seconds ago, is that Nash exchange is an outright scam. And people from the Nash exchange feel free to, tweet at me, feel free to file a lawsuit like other shit coins. But if you are giving a dividend in your own coin, as this commentator likes to say, of course, I am also believing that you are not lying about what the Nash exchange is doing. If the Nash exchange has their own token like Binance, and they're paying you in their own token, the Nash exchange is running a scam. It really is that simple. And if they have any affiliation to the US government, then I hope the US regulators go after them and go after them hard and do their damn job for once. Question, can you compare the halving charts of the past Bitcoin and Litecoin? Do you see any correlation? I'm not gonna pull up nor create the Bitcoin versus the Litecoin halving charts at the moment because I am tired and I'm stuck at the airport. But what I will say is if Litecoin continues to pump into the halving, it will get wrecked. I mean, I think Litecoin is done. It is totally useless. And every single halving is just going to destroy its mining structure. Will this be the halving that destroys its mining structure? I don't know, and nobody else does either. But what I do know is that with every halving, Litecoin becomes a liability, unlike Bitcoin. With every halving, Bitcoin gets more scarce. But with every halving, Litecoin gets more useless. I mean, it's useless now, but it becomes more useless. And therefore, is this going to be the halving that destroys Litecoin, or will it be the next one? I can tell you what's going to happen in the future. And what's going to happen in the future is Litecoin will eliminate the halvings. About 4 people are going to get on a phone call, and they're going to remove the halvings. That's what's going to happen. It's inevitable. Most likely, they will actually add inflation. Maybe they'll change their mining algorithm and start merge mining with Bitcoin, like every other shitcoin will do eventually. So that's the future of Litecoin. So trade it if you like, accumulate more Bitcoin. But if you're going to put your life savings in Litecoin, feel bad for your family in the long term. But hey, you guys can do your own decision. What's your opinion of Grin and their implementation of Mimblewimble? Grin is a shitcoin. Grin is totally useless. Grin is another version of Monero. And does Grin have better privacy than Monero? Maybe. Who cares? Does Grin have better privacy than Bitcoin? At the moment, it does. But give it another year between bulletproofs and Schnorr and confidential transactions and moving your Bitcoin in and out of the liquid sidechain. Bitcoin will have better privacy than Grin. If not, it will be almost as good. And sometimes almost as good is better because people actually use Bitcoin and no one's ever going to use Grin. Like, you can have the most private messenger in the world, but if 3 people use it, who cares? If the euro goes south, what about the British pound? Very good question. I am bullish on the British pound, especially if the euro goes south. I've been a British pound bull ever since the Brexit, and I've been a bear, a euro bear since almost forever. So someone's asking, is there a workshop in Iceland? No, there isn't. I'm just there for a day. Would have been a day and a half, but I had a flight issue. I am planning to go to Africa. I would like to. I don't know when yet. Maybe next year. How strong is the 3-day Bitcoin golden cross? I'm not sure. I don't feel like pulling up charts again. Boeing stock. I'll take a look at Boeing stock next time. Tone, why is the cheap euro good for every country? Well, Europe already has a problem exporting their goods because they're a little expensive. And when your currency drops, there's a larger demand for goods. I mean, Europe does produce a lot of nice things. People do like European wines. I'm not sure if the Chinese have bought BMW and Mercedes yet. I should probably check on that. There is still demand for European cars. There's demand for other European goods, and the basic economics will tell you that as your currency gets weaker, the demand for your goods goes up because your goods are cheaper in other countries' currencies. Your tourism will also increase. I really have to factor in tourism into my equation. I gotta get some tourism experts, and I want to do it on the record with them, because I was at a presentation in Bulgaria at Digitalk, and this concept just blew my mind when a guy stood on stage and said, tourism is one of the newest industries in the world, and hasn't even gotten started yet. And he explained how tourism as an industry, like the computer programmer as a profession, only started about 30, 40 years ago, and it's really expanding. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, the computer programmer was number 25 or 30 on the list of most employed people, right? And it's moving up the ranks. Every year, computer programmer goes up until eventually, when we hit the robot stage, computer programmer will be the number 1 job in the world. And you know what will be the number 2 computer programmer is more of a job. It's not really an industry, right? But let's just call the computer programmer an industry. You can call, AI, I guess, or I don't want to call that an industry either, but let's say computer science as an industry, right? Computer science will become the number 1 industry in the world because everything will be automated. The second industry in the world will be tourism. And neither of these industries existed 100 years ago. They didn't exist. There was no tourism 100 years ago, just like there was no computer programmer 100 years ago. And to me, this is absolutely fascinating. Uh, Two industries that didn't exist 100 years ago are going to dominate uh, employment 100 years from now, for 50 years from now. Right? The reason why tourism didn't exist 100 years ago is because you couldn't get anywhere on your vacation. Today, um, if you have a job and you only have a 2-week vacation a year, if you're an American, 4-week vacation easily. If you're a European, maybe even 6. You have, planes now. You have all these online resources to book tours. The world's getting safer by every decade. The world's just safer. Like I'm in Bulgaria, we're hanging out, partying until like 3 in the morning. Not even worried about our safety. I'm hanging out with people that said, hey, 8 years ago, you couldn't walk down the street during the day. There'd be like, shootings. And now I'm not going to say it's 100% safe, but it's safe enough. Like, world's getting safe. The world is getting a lot safer. The internet gets you connected. It's so hard to get stuck in the middle of nowhere. My internet works pretty much everywhere. You have Google Maps. You can't really get lost. Hotels tonight will get you a room the same night. I mean, Uber will prevent you from getting ripped off by taxi drivers. Like tourism, just something that didn't exist, is now exploding, right? So I don't know how I got on this thing. Also, too, so when you come, I love going to Kiev. I love going to Ukraine. It's safe enough. I mean, I do speak the local language, so that helps. But it's cheap as hell. People are nice. It's great. And and now I'm going to Iceland, which is expensive as hell. If I gotta pay $15 for a beer in one of like the shittiest bar there is, like I had to do in Oslo, don't expect me back in Iceland anytime soon. Like, I mean, I'm not. So let's assume I'm broke and it's hard for me to afford a $15 beer, right? But man, certain parts of Europe, ordering some wine and paying what, like $10, $15 a bottle for a really good bottle of wine is great. It's awesome, right? So cheap currency for Europe, your tourism will probably go up. People love going to Europe on vacation. All right. Tone, do you still think a 30 to 40% correction is possible? Not only possible, I still think it's likely. I'm not really going to get into it. I really should have sat to make sure that my damn flight is out of this terminal. You should have a little bit of time left. All right, let's see what else we got on your questions. I really got off on a couple of rants here, so. How's my audio? My audio still good, I'm assuming? I don't have any thoughts on Facebook coin. I think there are white papers coming out soon. I'll try to find time to look at it. I don't have an opinion on Deutsche Bank. I haven't looked at anything related to Deutsche Bank in years. Manny asks, now that I'm leaning towards the bottom being in, what are my current thoughts? My thoughts are I'm waiting for a 30 to 40% correction, and then I will reevaluate the environment. We had a 20+% pullback in May. That was the time to buy the dip. Maybe. In hindsight, sure. At the time, I didn't think it was, clearly. I do listen to scientists that are the experts in the field. I just don't happen to listen to the same scientists that are experts in the field that you think are experts in the field, right? Take two scientists in any field, that they can have very different opinions, right? Just because the scientists, the PhDs that I trust with information, doesn't mean it's the same ones you do. You know, people think Vitalik is an expert in the field. I think I don't. I think Vitalik is I don't want to call him a scammer, but like Vitalik definitely not as smart. I would put, I can probably name 20 Bitcoin Core developers that I will take over Vitalik any day. And probably if I knew more names of Bitcoin Core developers, I'll take I'll take the top most useful 100 Bitcoin Core developers over Vitalik any day, right? So some people think Vitalik is a genius. I don't. So you and I don't have to believe in the same scientists. Hey, admins, if you're not gonna ban people that write the Ripple bullshit, I will have to do it myself. That was a joke. Hey, admins, you're doing an amazing job, guys. Thank you. There's a lot of comments here, guys. How many people are actually watching this right now? Man, I might have to increase the slow mode. 700, not bad. I'll take it. Let's see what else you guys got. Oh, man. I wanted to sit at a table, but my charging cord from the outlet wasn't going to reach. So I'm holding the laptop. Tone, banks have been fined for suppressing the price of gold. There's really no reason for you to be looking at my crotch. There we go. Banks are threatened by Bitcoin. Guys, don't buy into this nonsense that banks are suppressing the price of gold. Sorry, Max Kaiser. Look, I know it sounds cool, and I know there are headlines that say Deutsche Bank was fined for suppressing the price of gold for 7 years. That's bullshit. They didn't suppress the price of gold. They announced the price of gold lower by 3 to 5 cents in the afternoon, just so they can trade in front of their own announcement that it was 5 cents lower. They should have just done it, 5 cents higher. I mean, they weren't manipulating the price of gold. They were given an opportunity to profit from their words. It's kind of like, let's say I am the czar of Bitcoin, right? And I decide what the price of Bitcoin is at noon UTC time, right? And the world trusts me to announce the price of Bitcoin at noon. So I look at all Bitcoin data across all exchanges, and then I announce the price of gold and that, price of Bitcoin, right? And by announcing the price of Bitcoin, a bunch of stuff gets, done off of that price. A lot of contracts, a lot of exchanges. Like, people can still trade gold every second leading up to what I say and every second after what I say, but at noon UTC time, I announced the price of gold that affects a bunch of smart contracts on the liquid side chain. Let's just say that, right? Let's say the let's say please don't kill me, Adam back. Let's say the conspiracy theorists are right and Blockstream owns Bitcoin, right? Like, and Blockstream gave me the power to announce the price of Bitcoin at noon, right? And then everything on the liquid side chain, which was created by Blockstream, all the smart contracts that are based on the price that I announce. And I am a very trusted person, and I announced the price. That's Deutsche Bank. So what Deutsche Bank was doing for 7 years straight is their people, probably not even under the direction of the CEO of Deutsche Bank, I would be announcing the price of Bitcoin that was actually 5 cents lower than it actually was. And because I know that I'm announcing something that is 5 cents lower than it actually is, I profit from that 5 cents across the smart contracts. That's it. Now, if there is a million smart contracts and I know I have a 5 cent advantage, a million times 5 cents, that's a good payday per day, right? Now, there's absolutely no reason why I wouldn't announce 5 cents higher instead of 5 cents lower. Maybe I thought that 5 cents lower is easier for me because everyone believes that gold's going to go up, so I'm announcing it, or Bitcoin's going to go up, so I'm announcing it 5 cents lower, and it's easier for me to profit from the fact that I announced it 5 cents lower versus 5 cents higher, and then it doesn't matter, right? So the point is, during the 7-year stretch that Deutsche Bank were announcing the price of gold lower at noon UTC or whatever time it was, and I don't even think it was 5 cents. I think it was less than that. I think 2 cents, 3 cents, whatever it was. During that 5 or 7 year stretch, the average price of gold actually went up, right? So don't talk to me about some bullshit suppression of gold that they did every single day for 5 years, when at the end of that 5-year period, the price of gold actually rose, right? It's not a suppression of gold. It's an opportunity by giving a company too much power, and they took advantage of that power, and they got fined for it. That's it. Again, long answer, reality. Reality, conspiracy theory. Reality. All right, let me scroll down, see if there's anything interesting. I can't see all of them, but what do I think of Crown, the YouTube guy? I don't. I don't watch his work. I've never seen. The only time I've ever seen his work was when I think I joined Tyler's stream when he was interviewing him. That was the only time I've ever seen his work. I'm sorry, guys. I don't pay attention to other traders. It's that simple. Like, A, I don't have time, and B, I have my own opinions. I don't know if he watches me or not. If he doesn't watch me, he has no opinion. I don't watch him. I have no opinion. I don't know what you want me to say. I read Van Zen's work before I joined this space, so I have an opinion on Van Zen's work, and I liked it. I liked Van Zen's work from 2013 and 2014. That's why we're friends. I like Tour de Meester's work. I like Willy Woo's work. I've seen their work. I think I already covered Starbucks. Is a global recession coming? I don't think so. Whoa, my live chat just moved a lot. Question, if no one has jobs because of automation, who will have money to travel? The computer programmers. Remember, 90% of jobs will be computer programmers. Maybe not 90, maybe 70% of jobs would be computer programmers, 20% of jobs would be in the tourism industry, and 10% would be other. Um, Global population is going to drastically decrease. I mean, I'm in Germany now. There's almost no people. There's negative birth rates all over Europe. Uh, with automation, you don't need that many kids. I mean, China has negative birth rates. I mean, the only regions that have positive birth rates are really Africa and India. And as those countries become more technologically inclined, their birth rates are going to plummet. I mean, these, gloom and doomers that the world is going to have 100 billion people and no one is going to live anywhere. It's ridiculous. The world population is going to drastically decrease as the world becomes more technologically inclined. Look at the birth rates in Japan. Is Bitcoin more of a store of value than a currency? At the moment, it is. If Bitcoin rises to $50,000, $70,000, it will be way more of a currency at that point, right? People, current Bitcoin holders will be rich. They'll be spending the money. It always goes back and forth. People think you are a genius. I don't. I'm not even close to a genius. You guys should see my SAT scores. I was laughing. You'll be laughing harder. Facebook coin is not going to destroy Bitcoin. Facebook coin has nothing to do with Bitcoin. Tone, where would you place your stop loss and target if you bought AMD at 28? I'm not going to pull up the chart on screen share, but I'll glance at it. Guys, I don't have, my targets are always Lambo. You know that. I don't set targets. I only set stop losses because it can go up forever. So I don't do targets. I might get out on a sequential 9. I might get out of resistance. I might get out if I don't like something, but I'm not going to set a target because it can go up and up and up and up, right? Like I'm a hodler in Bitcoin. I don't have a target for Bitcoin. It's when I don't like it and I think it's overpriced, I sell. So let's look at AMD. I can tell you where I would set the stop loss, but if I bought AMD at 28 and my chart doesn't really want to update right now. So I guess we're kind of stuck. So oh, here it is. It updated. Well, wait a minute. If I bought AMD at 28, first of all, my stop loss would have already been hit. Okay. If I had bought AMD at 28 was a buy the dip situation off the moving average. AMD went to $34.50 and it has now fell to 29. If I bought AMD at 28, there's no way in hell I would be in the stock. So your question, unfortunately, I cannot answer. Where would I have gotten out of this stock if I had AMD at 28? Worst case scenario, I would have got out at around 31. So if I had AMD at 28 and I had it right now, I would be out and taking my profit. So your stop loss has come and gone long ago, unfortunately. If you bought AMD at 28 and you're still holding AMD at 28, and this wasn't a long-term retirement play in AMD, then you really want to attend my entries, exits, and stop losses webinar. All right, guys. I think this was a good stream. Got into a lot of crazy stuff that had nothing to do with Bitcoin whatsoever. Someone says Crown is a great trader. That's fine. I mean, like, look, guys, there's only so much time in a day. I can sleep, I can do videos, or I can watch Crown. Okay. If you want me to watch Crown and don't do videos, great. I mean, that's what you want me to do, right? Like, I can't do two things at once, right? I can't watch other traders and do live streams. I can't watch other traders and travel to conferences. I can't watch other traders and sleep at the same time. I have to choose one or another. If you like his work, watch his work. I'm not stopping you. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. And I will see you all on the next one. Not sure when that would be. My time in Iceland has just been cut short, and may not have time to bring you a video from out there. But I'll do my best. All right. Talk to you all on the next one. Bye bye, guys.